Good morning, everyone. This week I'm living life with no rules. Today is day 4. Let's get into it. So I matched with someone on Tinder here in Santa Barbara. Her profile said that she's a confidence coach slash stand-up comedian. So I messaged her to ask if I could pick her brain, and she said yes. So I'm gonna meet up with her in a bit. Then maybe I'll drive back to LA and try doing stand-up. I figured we could meet at a park and asked if she had any park recommendations.
Okay, so I do have an idea. I'm in the most incredible house in Santa Barbara. I mean, it overlooks all of downtown Santa Barbara and the ocean. My name is Brooklyn Landon, and sometimes it feels like, what don't I do? But I'm a confidence coach and stand-up comedian.
So what is a confidence coach?
So I help people step into their power and out of their comfort zone so they can live their dreams.
I was thinking, I saw stand-up on your profile, and I was like, that seems like the last thing I'd do because I don't think I'm going to be good at it. But then since you were the combination of that, I was like, maybe that's what I should do. Or do you have any other suggestions?
I think that would be amazing. I totally think you should do stand-up. And there's so many open mics, especially in LA. And I'm trying to think of which ones would be
my friend
good.
I texted my friend in the possibility that it could happen, and he said there's one I could do today.
Oh, I mean, there's always at least several
Really?
going on within a, I used to hit up multiple open mics when I was in LA.
Oh, if I was going to try stand-up, what advice do you have about that?
My advice, I mean, it's easy to say, don't care what other people think, but that's not really advice. That's like, well, now, how do I not care?
True, that's a great question.
I think what's good to keep in mind is that no matter how your jokes might land, the fact that you're doing something that most people would never even try.
Mm-hmm.
So who cares if it sucks? Look at what a badass you are for getting up there in the first place.
True.
Hearing this was almost like the magic words. As soon as she said all this, I knew that I was going to give it a go. And I have actually written some material before because I hosted a talk show and had to write a monologue.
So some illegal street racers were arrested in Seattle over the weekend. Apparently they can organize a car race, but they can't actually drive the cars fast enough to get away.
But I still wanted to pick her brain just about other jokes, just in case I wanted to write some extra material.
So oftentimes when you're writing a joke, what you want to do is you want to create a story in someone's head. I would say talk about things that that show people who you are. When you list things, you want to list 3, and then you want the last one to be what gets the last.
At the Starbucks, this woman ordered a scone, a muffin, I don't know what the hell it was. But they gave it to her in a brown bag. And then she was eating it. She was like fingering the muffin out of the bag.
When I got to the club, I was 11th on the sign-up sheet, meaning I had about 1 more hour to put the finishing touches on my set. There were about 50 people in the audience, but the club manager had asked the audience to keep their reactions a little bit quiet, just because there was also another set going on in the next room. Hear about the street races this past weekend? So I guess apparently these street racers can put together, a whole race with all these people, but they're not fast enough to get away from the cops. And then who here knows about athletes? Athletes are supposed to be the pinnacle of health, right? And why are there all these injuries lately? Sebastian Maniscalco has this good joke about what's with all the rules these days? People go to the Starbucks, they start doing things the wrong way, and actually I can't remember that one perfectly. Let's see, gonna take a quick look.
Weed is becoming increasingly legal. As a matter of fact, I'm sure there are quite a few people out there watching this video who just took a massive rip off a bong for the first time and are now thinking, bro, where am I?
So does anyone here smoke weed? I wonder if anyone here just took a massive rip off of a bong and is like, oh, where am I? So does anyone want to do crowd work? Does anyone use AI?
Yeah.
Are you ever asking the AI for some kind of advice and it just gives you some really random answers? What's that all about?
What?
Who here knows who Mr. Beast is?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He has Crohn's disease. You gotta be shitting me.